Hey guys, Mark Gill here with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and today I'm going to tackle the topic of new home construction. Today's market can be very intimidating for some buyers. You've heard the term low inventory, and what that means for you is that historically speaking, there are fewer houses on the market than there usually are. And the houses that are on the market sell very quickly, and that can be very stressful to home buyers. And with that said, new home construction has become a real option for these home buyers. But that comes with its own process and its own set of intimidating factors. So I thought it would be a good idea to sit down with Amanda Pittman from Fischer Homes. Amanda is a sales rep for Fischer, sales counselor, is that what you call it?
Yeah, you got it.
And she's helped me and my clients a great deal in the past. So I thought I'd just sit down and have a conversation with her to go over some of the things you should know before you step foot into a sales office at a new builder. So, Amanda, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Yeah.
All right, so could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Columbus, Indiana. So I really enjoy working in the Greenwood area because I do see a lot of overlap between Columbus and Greenwood. And I also went to school in Bloomington. I went to IU. I graduated from the media school. So my degree was in public relations, or it was in journalism with a major in public relations and then a minor in marketing. Okay. So good mix of different things, but yeah, I loved it down there and I'm excited to be here in Indy.
How'd you wind up with Fischer?
So actually it was at the IU Career Fair. I overheard someone in my Kelly marketing class talking about the career fair and I was like, oh, I need to go to that. So I researched every place that was hiring for some kind of marketing role. And they were actually hiring for sales, but I was very interested in marketing and I get to actually use a lot of the marketing skills that I learned in school in this job because I'm marketing myself, I'm helping market our communities themselves. So what originally attracted me to the Fischer Homes booth was actually their website. So that as I was doing some research, the night before, I was like seeing all the pictures of their homes and of their designs, and I was thinking, wow, this is a really great company. And so then when I went to talk to the recruiters at the booth, it just reinforced what I had initially thought about the company, and they told me that the job they were hiring for was someone that would help customers find the floor plan of their wants and needs, help them in the model home and kind of navigate what steps to take throughout the build process. And the whole thing just sounded really fun to me to help get people not only find the right floor plan, but also the right design options and help them pick their colors and all of that kind of stuff. So it was definitely something that drew me from the start, and it's still something I really enjoy. And I love working for this company. So
cool.
Yeah, cool. That was super long-winded. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Let's get into the first question here. Why should home buyers consider building over purchasing an existing home?
Yeah, so there's a couple of reasons. The biggest one that comes to mind is you don't have to compromise quite as much. So when you build, you're making a lot of decisions to kind of formulate the house that you want around your needs and wants, rather than settling for a house that maybe doesn't have a dining room, or it doesn't have a study, or it doesn't have the right amount of bedrooms. Whatever it is, when you build, you can really cater those things to your needs.
So it's easier to get what you want.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So, and I always advise, my customers, let's focus on picking the right floor plan for you first. Let's pick the right structural items, because the way that we do it, there's a lot of flexibility in certain rooms that you can change around. Like in this model, it starts as a rec room, but you can change it to a guest suite. So if you need another bedroom downstairs with a bathroom or full bathroom and a closet, so things like that. So
and everything's brand new.
Absolutely. And so that is the next one I was gonna say is everything's brand new. So it's kind of like when you're buying a used home or a resale home, whatever you want to call it, you don't really know exactly what could go wrong with it, and that's nothing against the sellers or anything like that. It's just sometimes there are things that happen that are missed that you can't predict, like the roof needs to be replaced, or the HVAC system cuts out, and there's just a lot of different things that can go wrong with a home that's been around for a while. Whereas with a new home, there's going to be warranties, there's going to be the guarantee because it's brand new, so there's a lot less risk going with a new home.
Sure.
Essentially.
All right.
And it's fun.
It is
a very fun process.
Yeah, I've been through it a couple of times. So what should everybody at home know about the building process? What can you tell them about it?
Yeah, so just to kind of summarize it, so when you go through Fischer, the first step would be picking the right area for you. So a lot of times I'll have people come in and they're not really sure if they want to live in Greenwood or Franklin Township or Noblesville, and so really narrowing down where you want to live is the first step. And then from there, picking the right community. So every community is going to be a little bit different. There's a lot of different collections that we offer through Fischer Homes. So kind of narrowing down that scope, but then through all of that, a sales counselor can absolutely help you narrow those things down too. But once we've kind of narrowed it down to a community, then it's, what floor plan is really going to be best for us. And that's kind of what we talked about already with having to compromise less because you're building one from scratch. Once you choose a floor plan, choose a home site, that's just as important. All of those things kind of line up. Then we would essentially move forward with signing a contract. And then the next step from there is actually going to our Lifestyle Design Center, where you would meet with one of our interior designers, depending on the collection, either a half day or a full day.
Which is a lot of fun, by the way.
Yes.
It's super fun to go in and pick out exactly what you want in your home.
Yes, yep, so you get to pick, the granite, the flooring type, the the carpet color, there's the backsplash, there's a lot of different things to choose. So you're making a lot of decisions, but you are guided by someone that is a professional in that industry. Whereas, I like to think that I have good taste, but I don't always, have the same eye that my designers do when it comes to putting those things together. So you are in good hands with our designers, I promise. So that's really cool. And then once that process is over, then it gets submitted to permitting, which is the boring part. Basically just waiting for the city to get back, make sure that it meets their community requirements and everything like that. Once we get it back from permitting, that's whenever we can really start. You would meet with your superintendent, go over the plans, make sure everything that you chose at the design center shows up on the prints. And then over that next couple of months, it's, you get to watch
That's
your
the
home.
pre-construction meeting, right?
Yes.
The pre-construction.
Yep. So they'll start digging whenever they get those permits back, but then you will actually meet with the construction superintendent and your sales counselor if they don't have other appointments going on that day, to kind of just get orientated, understand what the next couple months are going to look like with the build of your home. And so you'll have a pre-drywall meeting a couple months after that first one. Mm-hmm. That's obviously when the house is just framed, for you to kind of make sure everything got framed correctly. They put in the study instead of the living room that you asked for. Not that they would make that
all
big.
the outlets are in the right
Yes,
place. Your
exactly.
Cat 6 is in there.
Yep, exactly. A lot of that electrical stuff. So once that is done, the next step is then your home orientation, which is when your home is actually completely finished. You'll walk around with the superintendent and myself again, and just kind of go over the best way to take care of your home. He'll talk more in detail about the warranties, some of the manufacturer's warranties, just a good, like I said, orientation to get you accustomed to how to take care of your brand new home. And then the last one, you would sign off. So if there's any paint touch-ups that needed done, they'll mark those before the orientation anyways, but the sign off is your very last appointment before closing, and that's when you'll really just make sure your home is up to standards. Yeah, exactly how you want it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and the build process sounds fun and be pretty simple to follow for Fischer. But what if I have a home to sell? How would that look?
Yeah, so there's a couple different options. We'll say 4 different options. So the first option is if you can qualify for both homes. You don't have to worry about listing your home ahead of time. You can kind of time it how you want. Most people, I list that first because most people choose not to do that just in case, the home doesn't sell before they're ready to close on the new home. They don't obviously want to pay 2 mortgages most of the time. So, but that is one option. The other option is a contingent sale. So essentially what that would look like is you sign the contract saying that if my home doesn't sell within 120 days of signing this contract, I'm not liable for the Fischer home. So we would essentially just list the home as a market home, or a spec home as some people call it. But that also cannot be quite as favorable, just because obviously if you're spending the time to build a new home, you want it to be yours. But it does protect you in the off chance that your house doesn't sell. But if Mark's listing your home, then it's gonna sell. So
I'll get it sold.
Yeah, he'll get it sold. So the other 2 options are my 2 favorite options. And I won't get into too many details because they're just this is better explained by a loan officer. So one is a home equity line of credit and the other one is a bridge loan. So the bridge loan is something that Victory Mortgage specifically offers. They are our partner lending company. They've been with us for over 30 years, so they work really well with Fischer Homes. Both of those options essentially allow you to wait to list your home until a little bit closer to your new home being completed. And then if you were planning on taking the equity out of your current home and using that for the down payment for your new home, it kind of allows you to pull that equity out of your current home and put it towards your new home without having to sell your home.
Okay.
Usually you would want to sell your home first, of course, but if for some reason it doesn't sell in time, that kind of gives you that leeway to avoid the other two less favorable options of having two mortgages or having to then give up the home you just designed, essentially. So
yeah, if you sell your home first, you have that 120 days to sell it. If it sells quickly, you could be in a position then where you have to find temporary housing.
Yes.
Correct.
I guess that would be the fifth option, yeah. So some of the ones I listed were if you're wanting to avoid a double move, but there's certainly the option of selling your house as soon as you can and then just renting for a couple months.
Okay. Any tips that you can give to make the building process a little bit easier and more enjoyable?
Yeah, okay, so I guess at the very beginning, before you've purchased something, my advice would be to really start to take notice of things that you like about things that you've seen, or take notice of things that are going on with your current living situation that you really don't like. So if you hate having a closed concept kitchen, then make sure to note that so you don't kind of buy something like that again. Not that you would, but it's just good to have those things top of mind. And also really do some research on the area that you're wanting to live in, because I feel like it's hard to narrow down like what you're truly looking for in a house, and you could be spending a lot more time on the home search than you need to if you don't know what area you want to live in. So I think kind of deciding those things first is a good step. Once you do buy, something to make the build process a lot more smooth is just, I would say, just trust the process and trust that we're going to take good care of you all the way through. You know, you don't need to go in the house every single day while it's being built. There's a lot of things that go on, like construction is a fluid process. So they're always, you know, working on things and then fixing them, and then I almost said editing, but that's not exactly right with construction. But you know what I mean, they're always kind of, it's just fluid.
So don't panic if something doesn't look right or something gets installed wrong. Don't
Absolutely,
panic.
yes, because at the end of the day, we want your home to be exactly how you designed it. So, you know, we're going to make that happen, but sometimes the process from getting to A to B, there's a lot of other steps in between. So you're just going to stress yourself out more if you're going into the home, or if you're just worried about it. So that would be my biggest piece of advice.
Relax.
Yeah, just relax. Yeah, and have fun.
All right.
Someone else is building a house for you, so just sit back and watch it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if I'm going into the building, if I'm considering building,
Yeah.
do you think it would be a good idea to have a realtor?
Absolutely, yes. I love the deals that I've had where I have a realtor in the process as well. In my opinion, it's just one other person that's there to advise the customer and to kind of put them at ease, because it is a new process for a lot of people. And so just having one other person on your side to kind of guide the customer, well, on both people's sides, to kind of guide the customer and help them through, I think is a really great tool.
Does it cost anybody? Does it cost you anything to have a realtor?
Nope, it does not cost the customer one thing at all. So the other thing I was going to say is, a lot of times when I see people come in with, my customers come in with realtors, they've known the realtor for a long time, or they've been working with them for a couple months. So that rapport is already kind of there. You know, I do my very best to build a lot of rapport throughout the process with my customers that do come in, but it just makes it so much nicer whenever they already have a relationship with somebody that's working together with me throughout the process, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're pretty good at it too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Fischer Homes specifically.
Yeah.
Can you share with us what makes Fischer Homes different than other builders?
Yeah, so overall, I love Fischer Homes as a company for our company culture and the way that we treat our customers. So we are a privately owned company. We started, you know, about 40 years ago. It was Henry and Elaine Fischer started this company in their basement. They weren't happy with the way that the building scene was, and just they weren't happy with the let's build as many homes as possible and let's just get them done to just make a profit and
push people through.
So they really, when they started the company, they wanted it to be about quality and design versus speed and volume. So you can see that translated in all our aspects, not just the home and the final product, but the process that we take people through as well. So the reason that you meet with a designer for a whole day, the reason that we work really hard to make sure you have the exact right floor plan for you, the reason the construction superintendents meet you in person 3-4 different times. Those are all ways that we take extra time and effort to make sure that the customer's happy. And that extends for after closing too. We have 2 different opportunities for them to have the construction superintendents come back in and maybe fix door squeaks or nail pops or things like that, because your house is gonna take a year to settle and really get set. So those are just some of the things that Fischer does differently overall. I could go on for a long time about like our construction and why that is truly a quality construction and quality materials, all of that stuff in mind, but we can get into that another time.
When I bring you in to build a Fischer home.
Yeah, exactly. yes. But I mean, I just think it boils down to the people that are in the company. I think that at the end of the day, like, it's the people that you're working with. And no one is going to care more than us. No one will care more about your home, your experience, and just your happiness level throughout than we are. And that goes for the sales counselors, the designers, the construction superintendents, our managers. And I think that says a lot about the company.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier choosing the right collection and the right floor plan.
Yeah.
I'd like to touch on that a little bit. How do I know which collection? Well, can you tell us a little bit about the collections that Fischer's offers, and how do I know which one's right for me?
Yeah. So in Indianapolis, we offer 5 collections. We have 4 in the single family category, you could say. So it starts out in Maple Street. So the Maple Street collection is truly designed for those first, second-time home buyers. We want to make it more affordable so that those that are just coming into the home buying scene can still afford to have a nice new home. In that collection, though, we do limit the options that are available so that you're not, if you offer big, fancy windows and 4,000 square foot floor plans, in this neighborhood, everyone's going to choose it.
Right.
But then it's also going to be a lot higher priced than all the other homes in the community.
Very easy to blow a budget that way.
Yes. So by limiting the options, we allow people to stay in their desired budget without getting, because they get googly eyed and they want to have all the things, but then you exceed your budget goal. So that's kind of
thinking Veruca from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I want everything and I want it now.
Yes. So we have to kind of keep that limited so that you can still have it as an affordable home. So that's kind of the goal of Maple Street. Designer is a step up from that. So you have a couple of floor plans that cross over between the two, but you do get a little bit more design options. So you can add a tile in your bathroom. You can add, some of the floor plans have 2-story family rooms. There's just, it's just like an upgrade from Maple Street. They're a little bit bigger homes. The home sites are a little bit bigger. So little things like that. So it's like a step up. And then the next level, which is the one we're sitting in now, is Masterpiece. And so we kind of call this luxury living but attainable. So this is truly this is kind of our sweet spot here at Fischer Homes, because you have a lot of design options, a lot more opportunities to customize your home. And the homes are much bigger. There's certain architectural details both on the outside and the inside of the home that kind of make it that more grandeur look. And then there's Grand Estates. And so that one is truly our estates collection, where the homes are a lot bigger. There's a lot more opportunities to customize and a lot more design options. So without getting too into the nitty gritty, the higher you go up in collection, usually the bigger the homes are, the more options you have for design, and the more difficult you could say the architecture is to actually build.
Okay.
That kind of give a good...
Absolutely.
The last collection is patio homes. So those are our low maintenance, and those are not attached. They are their own separate homes, but they're all ranches. And so we have a couple communities in Indianapolis that satisfy this. So So it's great for young professionals or seniors, ones that just don't really have time or don't really want to take care of their lawn anymore, mow their grass, shovel their snow, things like that.
So they are maintenance free.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we call it. Low maintenance.
Low maintenance.
So I guess I don't know if I can say maintenance free, but
Right.
yeah.
You still gotta paint your walls.
Exactly. So yeah, but it is all the ranch style, one story, and they would have the level of customization and design closer to a designer home.
Okay.
So designer and masterpiece it'd be kind of in between there as far as like design goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with all these collections, I'm sure there's hundreds of floor plans.
Oh yeah.
Once I pick a collection,
Yeah.
which floor plan? How do I narrow down the floor plans? I mean, it doesn't seem like you would be economical to have a model for every floor plan. So
Yeah.
how would I narrow that down?
So honestly, the best way is to just come see one of us. So we know the ins and outs of every floor plan, and if you come in and give us a list and kind of let us take you through our process of figuring out what you truly are looking for. Sometimes you don't know until you're in a model and you see things that you really like or you really hate. And so we're gonna take all that information and just really listen to you and be able to, all right, that floor plan would not be good. Gonna narrow down that one. And then as we kind of put all those things together in our minds, eventually come out with 1 or 2 floor plans we think would be really great for you based on some of the things that you've mentioned. So don't, this is another tip I would have is, some people just need to do this, are more analytical, but don't spend too much time like digging over each floor plan and like looking online necessarily, because things are very different in person versus on paper.
Sure.
So I think definitely just trusting that one of us will help you get to that perfect floor plan is the best thing you can do. And it kind of goes both ways versus should I pick the right collection first or should I pick the floor plan? Because some of them cross over.
Mm-hmm.
So the collection is really going to be how much are you willing to invest in your new home, and also how much stake do you want to have in the design of your new home. So like the designer and masterpiece and Grand Estates are going to have more design options.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's kind of your number one goal, then maybe those 3 would be better. But if you're trying to, you want a home that's reliable, you came from renting and you didn't have to really worry about your apartment having any issues because there was a maintenance crew, and you're just needing a house now, you're tired of paying rent. Maybe Maple Street would be great because, maybe you don't need all the fancy bells and whistles, but you want a home that you own and that is going to work for you.
Okay.
And be reliable. So then maybe Maple Street would be great. So I think a big part of it is budget and where you're wanting to invest your money, but also another big part of it is the level of design that you want to have.
How much flexibility you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Last question.
Okay.
Tell us, what does Fischer have planned? What exciting plans do they have in the area in central Indiana? Any new floor plans, developments? What's going on with Fischer?
Yeah, so we actually just rolled out a new floor plan called the Leland, and I love it. Everyone is super excited about it.
I think I've seen that one actually.
Yeah, it hasn't, we don't have any models like built yet.
Right. Okay,
and no physical examples, but we do have a virtual tour. This one of my coworkers said this is the plan from the future. It has master on the main, which is something that we've been hearing a lot that people want more of.
It's more popular nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's master on the main. It has the option to extend a morning/hearth room downstairs, which actually changes the arrangement of your kitchen to have a much bigger island. And then that in itself gives you the option to have a second study or just a big morning room area that's got windows all around. Or you can have 2 bedrooms on the first floor, which is another thing that I've been hearing, but we didn't have anything to offer until now.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you yourself want a master on the main, but you also need a spot for your in-laws, now you can both, have those spaces.
You can both be on the same floor.
Yes, which maybe for some people that wouldn't be great, but yeah, so it's nice. Or just, a guest room downstairs, whatever it is. So it's very flexible, and it still has the 2-story family room. So that was another thing that we see people like a lot, is having this expansive.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, but it's hard to have this and master on the main, because before the only options were one of our floor plans called the Blake or a ranch. So this gives you that expansive look with still having master on the main. It's got 3 bedrooms upstairs and a loft. So it's just like all of those things that we've been hearing. Like,
Which collection is the Leland in?
the Leland is a Masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
Yep, so we do it here in Brighton Estates. We've got it in Shadowwood, which is in Barkersville. Most of our Masterpiece communities have it. Not all of them, though. So,
Cool.
super excited. Definitely look it up online.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Amanda.
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, I hope you found the video informative. Stay tuned for other videos. I do plan on visiting some other builders around central Indiana. There are builders all over that cater to different price points, different tastes, different locations. So I'm going to sit down with them and find out what makes them different. I'll also shoot some more educational, funny, thought-provoking videos in the future. And as always, if you need to buy, sell, or build a home, give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, Facebook, however you prefer to communicate. I have a passion for helping to improve people's lives, and I'd love to help you. And thanks, Amanda, for your time today.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.